Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. How are you all doing? I'm just looking at the screen. It always looks different. I haven't done this in what, 2 weeks, something like that. So I'm just trying to figure it out again. Always trying to figure it out. Anyway, Sharon, hello to you. How are you? Gracie is watching and lurking. Hello, Gracie. We got warm here in Texas again today. Hello, Connie. Art with Connie. Jen Redgate. Hey, good to see you. She's a waving. Yay, everybody's coming in. Hello, Tank. How are you? How are you feeling? I hope you are well. Lorraine is here. Good to see you, Lorraine. So glad to see you. There's Leanie. Are you lurking too? Watching on the TV? Okay, she has to go do something else. That's okay. Thanks for coming and saying hello. I appreciate that. Oh, there's Arity. Yes, it's Friday. Friday night crime. She waving at all y'all. So is Tank. So is Arity. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. There's Sharon. Sharon Creates is here. Hugs to you too, Sharon. I hope you're having a good day. Is that Heather? Hey, Heather. How are you? My Canadian friend. There's Joan. Hi, Joan. I did get your email. I'll have to share that. Don't let me forget. Don't want to forget that one. Some news. There is Kathy. Hey, Kathy. I hope you're having a pretty spring. I know it comes later for you. There is Maribel. All right. I'm keeping up, aren't I? Or am I still behind? No, everybody's still saying hi to everybody. Everybody's saying hi. Hello. How are you, Marilyn? Good to see you. Aw. Oh, of course I remember you. Yeah, you're one of my OGs. We go back. We go way back. Now, that reminds me, don't forget to put the word teal so you could drop your link for your channel. So anybody who is wanting their channel link dropped, they can put the word teal. Okay, shirt of the day. Anything you can do, I can do slower. Yeah, most definitely slower. Not saying I can't do it, just may not be very fast. Oh, goodness, that's a hot spring for you guys. Wow, 90 degrees, and that's where we're at. Right back at you, she says. Yes, right back at you. Thank you, Tank. She is dropping my Ko-fi link for you all. That is where you can find memberships for the channel. They're on Ko-fi. You could buy me a coffee. You can find my patterns. And I try to put anything that happens with the channel, I try to put it there. There's Shad. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. No necklace, but I've got my body outlines on for the earrings. Shad always wants to know what we're wearing. Gifted yarn. Oh, you're going to be able to send some stuff. That's awesome. That's awesome. I am working on a package for you, Sharon. I know that you got some things in the mail, but I'm always working on sending, like any kind of scraps and that kind of thing. So I will continue to do that, but I wait until I have enough to send. There's Annie. How's it going? Glad you're here, Annie. Thank you for coming tonight. Good to see you. Y'all, I did my homework. I did my homework. Do not see all of these that are in here. All these cases that we've talked about. That's just this one. And I'm getting down there on this notebook too. I have about 20 or so pages left, and we'll have to start a new notebook. That's all I have left. We have filled this one up. Okay, I do want to give you a quick update on Cerberus. He is right down here. Oh no, y'all can't see him down there. He's on his wishbone. He's on his wishbone. Y'all know what that is. It's that hard chew toy that they have and it looks like a wishbone. He's on that tonight. Yes. Oh, thank you, Lorraine. She's putting all the doodads in there. That is awesome. Thank you for doing that. It's in 20 gallons a week. Gallons of what? Coffee? Oh, you'd send me coffee and I would drink it. That wouldn't last me a week. Girl. Okay, speaking of coffee, what have we got tonight? Tonight we have salted caramel, and we're in the California cup. Yeah. Good stuff. Tomorrow is Walmart with Dad, and he's doing good. He's doing good. Shad's here to remind us, everybody, hit that like button if you don't mind. I really appreciate that. And Connie said she would accept scrap fabric if you have it. She's doing bags. Don't forget to put put teal in there. I haven't seen anybody drop it yet. Oh. I'm glad you enjoy doing it, Lorraine. That makes a big difference. I really appreciate you and Tank and all of my mods. And speaking of Ko-fi, let me do my little thank you for those of you who are members. I really appreciate it. Sharon is saying she made pink squares into doll blankets, making bigger squares into a baby blanket. I love it. I love that. Oh, you're making your own creamers now? I looked into doing that, but it takes a lot of ingredients. It really does. Okay, so you don't have to put any exclamation. Just put just the word teal, just like Jennifer did it right here, just like that. That's all you have to do. No exclamation. It doesn't have to be capital, nothing, but if you do, it'll work. The milk tea, no, not yet. Not yet. So we're going to have story time tonight. We're going to do our crime story, and then we'll get into everything else, okay? Because it's a lot. There's been a lot happen in the last 3 weeks. A lot. I don't even know if I'll be able to remember it all. Including last night, we didn't even have electricity. So there's that. Okay. The place we're going is Massachusetts. That's what we picked, 3 weeks ago? I think it's 3 weeks ago. And our story is Murder on the Cape. No, that one doesn't work, Tank. I don't have it set up. I tried, but I couldn't make that work. I did try to do it. I think I was just impatient, Connie. Thank you, Artie. I feel I feel pretty good. I had a migraine this afternoon, but it's calmed down. So here we are. But I do feel pretty good today. My pain level is way, way down. All right, let me show you what I am working on. That's not the way I want it. Thank you, Annie. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Oh, and then Joan, I need to show, hold on, I need to show what Joan sent. And Jennifer. And Jennifer too. Okay, Jennifer sent me some pictures of some things that she was making, and then Annie sent me hold on, got to respond to something. All right, Jennifer. All right, she said it's a poncho and she's still putting the fringe on it. And then the tank top is a crochet crowd pattern. The summer top is a pattern she found on YouTube. So here's the poncho. She's still putting fringe on the poncho. Oh, there it goes. A little blurry. There we go. This is Jennifer Redgate. And then here's the tank top was from Crochet Crowd, I think she said. I like that too. These mesh ones are so cool. I'm getting there, Sharon, but it's a day by day thing. Hey, Laura, Knit for Brains is here, y'all. Yay. And then where did this tank top? She said a YouTube video for the tank top. Very nice. Thank you for sharing, Jennifer. And that's what I've gotten in my email. Now, I will be doing a look through stuff that's on Facebook too. I will be. We just haven't got there. Okay, here is what was from Joan. She said, this is the Rebecca Haro case. Do you all remember the Rebecca Haro? It was she and her husband Jake were arrested for the murder of their son. This is baby Emmanuel. So we know that Jake pled guilty in October of last year, and Rebecca was hard bent on saying that, you know, it wasn't her fault, somebody else did it, blah, 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 blah. Well, today she pled guilty for involuntary manslaughter, child endangerment, and an accessory to murder after the fact. She got sentenced to 8 years, 12 years and 8 months. Now, what did Joan, do you remember what they gave Jake for his pleading guilty? Because I don't see it here in your email. Does anybody know what he received for his? She got 12 years and 8 months, and I agree, is not enough. Hey, Grandma Cindy, good to see you. Hey, Suzanne. Suzanne is still hooked. Oh, it is Patty. Did Patty sneak in? There's Patty. Hey, Patty. And I think I just saw Tamra. Hey. Yes. Oh, does he smoke in the house? That sucks. My dad has been so good to smoke outside. It still bothers me even outside and going in the car with him, though. So I really understand. I know we all missed each other so much. And Mimi, please send your hugs and prayers and all your happies. Mimi took a little tumble, and so she is on the mend. And anybody else who is hurting, either emotionally or body, I got it. I understand. I'm a warrior right along with you, and I hope that you feel better soon. Jones thinks he got 25 to life. Okay, so 25 to life does not mean without um, parole. It means that he will be eligible for parole. Now, that's California, I think, isn't it? So I don't know how much that means. Okay, I think that is everything there. Okay, did I miss anybody else? All sending. Yeah, it's rough. I'm so happy that my dad has my dad will go to his bathroom and open his bathroom door in the winter and smoke through the bathroom window. But okay, another good MRI. It's a good way to go. Absolutely. I hope that they can give you some shots. So yes, praying for healing for all of you. For Tank, continued healing. Tamara for healing. Absolutely. And anybody else who needs it. Okay, I'm going to work on this poncho tonight. This is the Bago Day poncho. Does anybody remember what it's called? Because I don't. I do not remember. Oh. Mm-mm. This is how I'm doing. Looks really good on that camera. Oh, is that, I'm not a doctor, but that when you start getting numbness, that really sounds like a nerve that has been, or a, because my daughter Chelsea was having that, and it was a bone spur that was pushing in and causing the nerves to do that. So I hope that they will find the problem and fix it fast for you. So this is the Red Heart Super Saver Jade Speckle. And this is the third one. I'm starting on the third one, okay? I ordered 3 of them from Yarnspirations when they had their sale. 2 of them Chelsea had given to me. I started making something, if you remember, and I sent that to Sharon. The stuff that was already made up, I just sent that to Sharon as scraps so she could do whatever she wanted with it. And then what I had left, that's this. So this is 2 and the start of the third. And then I have 2 more. Okay? Yeah, it sounds like you're going to need some fusion or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it sounds like things haven't changed. They should have fixed it for you by now. I realized that you had other commitments too. There's a lot going on in your life in the last few years, so you've been through it. Okay. So this one has how many points? I think it's, thank you, Tank. Thank you so very much. I think it's 5. Okay, so you can wear it square or you can wear it this way. See? So I believe it's 5 points. 1, 2, no, maybe it's 4. 3, it's 4 points. Yeah, it's 4 points, 4 sides. I'm loving the color. This red heart, this speckle yarn is very much old red heart feel. But it's okay. I don't do it for hours and hours, so it's okay. I did see that, Patty, and I have been listening to some podcasts about that. I don't know whether that's an option for me, but I have been seeing all of the stuff that's been coming out about that. Yes. And that is also for MCAS, mass cell activation syndrome, which I do believe I have. Don't know yet. I will be giving you some updates on the health stuff too. Things that I know, things I don't know. Okay. I was just looking to see if I had missed anything. Yes. Unless you can find a doctor that will do a cash payment for it. Sometimes you can find a doctor that will do all the different ones. There's the Manjaro, there's the, I remember what it's called. But there are some doctors and some clinics. Okay. I'm reluctant to do it. I did it before and I'm reluctant to do that again. I am following a pattern, Erity. This is a Bag O' Day pattern. I just don't remember which one it is. It is the one that has the puff stitches. So let me bring it in here for you on camera. This one is the one that you do the puff stitch round, and then you do the double crochet spaces mesh stitch in between. That's the one I'm doing, but I just don't remember what it's called. Yes, I know, Sharon, and I've already had one hernia repair. So see, that's kind of one of those things. Yes. There they are. There's the other names for them. But I am aware of the research on that, and I am aware of what it does. I just, yeah, I don't know if that's right for me. Okay. So, which round am I on now? And we're going to start our crime story, and then I will get y'all caught up on all the other things, okay? So I won't be answering your questions while I'm reading my story. I am using my Clover J hook, 6 milli. Okay, Murder on the Cape. We're going to, I don't know that either, Tank. I don't remember that either. Sorry. It's been a while since I watched it. The town is a small seaside town off of Cape Cod, towards the end of the Cape, and it is called Truro. Truro. It is home to a population of seaside dwellers living year-round, knowing each other, knowing practically everything that happens in the town, in their little waterside village. On January 6th of 2002, Krista Worthington has been found stabbed with her 2.5-year-old daughter Ava in the house with her. Ava is unharmed, but she is in the house with her mama, and she has her mama's blood on her. Now, this was a 48 hours episode called Murder on the Cape. It was a 2020 episode called A Killing on the Cape. I have not watched that one yet. It's hard to do this and this at the same time. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. Yes, it's your coaster that you made for me. Right now it's got my meds on it, but I take my cover for my coffee that's got condensation, and I put it there when I'm drinking my coffee. Oh, I hope you have a good weekend too, Kim. Don't forget to leave your link, Kim. Do you still have the same channel? Is this your, because I was thinking you had started a different channel. I am confused. But leave your link for us so we can find you, okay? There is a full movie. You can find it on Tubi if you do not have or pay for any kind of streaming options. You can find it on Tubi, and it is called Murder on the Cape, and it's the movie version of this story. So just remember that they take a lot of poetic license with the story when they do them. And I don't know who stars in that. I have not seen it yet, but it's all over the place. Now, there are 2 books that I know of, okay? The one book is called Invisible Eden, and it is by Maria Fluke. Now, that particular book was written before a suspect was arrested. So just keep that in mind should you want to read the books on this case. You can do some deep dives on this case, just so you all know. This is not just a... Okay, see, I thought I had seen something because I had watched some episodes and I was confused. I just wanted to make sure that was you. That all of it was still you. Okay, thank you. Murder on the Cape. I will write it here for you. And I did put a link to it in the description box. There is a really good article. I will show it to you. I have bookmarked a bunch of articles to show y'all. And it is on, actually, Oxygen has a true crime channel, Oxygen True Crime Channel. They have a blog website that they actually break down some of the cases that they discuss, which is kind of nice. I kind of enjoyed seeing that was there. Hey, Katie, how's it going? Okay, now let's talk about Ava. Everybody is going to want to know right off the bat, she was not hurt. But here is the story with Ava. Krista Worthington wanted a baby. And she did not really want to have this baby in the city. She had been living in the city before she moved to the Cape. She wanted to be a mom really, really badly. She had been told previously and was under the distinct impression from her doctors and everyone that she could not have children. So when she became pregnant with Ava, she was thrilled, and she really wanted it to be a perfect, quiet, quaint place with no hustle, no bustle, just her and her daughter, that she could just spend that time, the beach, all of those things. It just really appealed to her. And after she found the perfect bungalow close to the water, and I mean literally close to the water, this bungalow is a beachside bungalow, and it wasn't like right on the water, but it was kind of tucked in a little nestled in a little area very close to the beach, and very quiet, a nice quiet spot. But yet it was in that village. It was considered a part of that village, and she had people kind of around there. Hey, Ellen, good evening to you. Happy Friday. And one of the people that was very, very close to her was Tony Jacket. Now, his name is Jacket, Jackett, is the spelling that I saw most used for Tony. Tony was a fishing guide, and everyone in town knows Tony. They knew him then, and they still know him. Tony was born and raised there on the Cape and in Truro. This is a born and raised seaside, sea rat, whatever you guys want to call them. You know, they have so many names for people who live along the coast. Now, Tony had a, what did they call this? The fishing shack. It was the Coastmaster or something like that. The shack for that was, beachside, because they needed something beachside, was right next to Krista's bungalow. Okay. And Tony was described as being a gregarious, outgoing, friendly, all around, really, really solid, good guy. However, Tony is married, and he has 6 kids. Okay? Now, according to Eric Williams, who is a reporter, journalist at the Cape Cod Times, everyone loved Tony, and Tony loved the ladies. So this was a real ladies' man. It's not surprising that he decided that he really liked this pretty, worldly, out, just from the way he talked about Krista, she was just so appealing and so easy to talk to, and they just hit it off really, really well. The Harbor Master Shack is what it was called. Now, who was Krista? Okay. Krista graduated from Vassar University with a bachelor in fashion and design. All right, now at this point, I do have some articles. So let me come in here. I am going to bring in my other. Okay, here are some pictures. This is, you'll see, this is the one from 48 hours right here. Can you guys see the hand that I'm putting on the screen like I see it? And then this one, this is the, there we go. Maybe now you can see it. That's the movie I was talking about, Murder on the Cape. I have not seen yet. It stars Jade Harlow, Josh Walther, and Heather Eggley. There's the movie about it, but this is the 48 hours picture from this episode. Here is another picture of Krista. And then here, picture of her. This is actually her with her daughter, but for some reason, her daughter, there she is right there. There's her and her daughter, Ava, at the beach. Here is a New York Times article that came out. This is New York Magazine. I don't know if it says on there what the date. Gosh, it was 99 then. They're probably not even a magazine anymore. February of 2002. Krista Worthington got off the Manhattan fashion writer fast track to raise her out-of-wedlock baby in a Cape Cod cottage, and trouble followed her there. Have you seen it, Kim? It's what happens is that 48 Hours is posting some of their earlier episodes on YouTube, and they're loading those. And one of the things they're doing, interestingly, is they're loading them a little bit like, here's another one from the movie. And then this one, that was not the right thing. This one here, this is Krista. This is Krista with her daughter, Ava. Not very long before she passed away, before she was killed. And this is the man that they arrested right here. We're going to get into that too. This is the man they arrested. This is Christopher McGowan. Okay, now let me go to, this is the crime article. There was the reward poster that was put out. What was I going to tell y'all? I forget now. Forget now what the point was over here. I was going to show you an article, but I don't remember what I was going to show you. I know what it was. The Cape Cod Times. So Eric Williams, who was the local reporter for this, he wrote for the Cape Cod Times, okay? And I wanted to show you that. This is the Cape Cod Times. Here is new Worthington book claims racial bias. So there's a new book that came out by this one is from 2011, this article. Peter Manso wrote a book called Reasonable Doubt, a 36-page argument that Christopher McCowan, the black garbage collector sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, was not given a fair trial. So I wanted to show you the Cape Cod Times. There's a whole lot of articles that can be found there. Hey, Scrimshaw. So I did find that. And then also, gosh, where is it? Here it is. Here is from the Cape Cod Times. And look at this. He's got a timeline in here. And it also has his blog from the trial as well. That's also here. Okay. All right, now let's go back to the story. So there is a lot there. And if you wanted to really, like I say, do learn more about this case, there's a lot of ways to do it. Okay. Krista's father is John Worthington. Okay. And this is an aristocrat, right? Aristocrat, however you want to say it. Not aristocrat, that's Disney. Aristocrat who owned a lot of property all up and down the Cape. And the bungalow that Krista went and stayed in was one of his properties. And that's what I was looking also for. There were some articles for Krista where she was a fashion design, a writer. I mean, very famous. She was really very famous, and she wrote articles for all of the magazines. Okay. They had some listed somewhere where I was looking at it. And she had just, before she went to stay at this bungalow, she actually had just gotten back from what do they call it? They call it a whirlwind tour in Europe, like London, all of that stuff for the Fashion Week and all of that. And she was kind of burnt out, according to her old boyfriend from New York, and best friend, one of her best friends. He became one of her best friends, which says something about Krista also. Okay, that she had a best friend that used to be a boyfriend, and to me that says a lot about her character as well. So this is a somewhat glamorous, somewhat famous, independent woman who loved to have fun, but stayed mostly by herself. So according to her friends, this is not somebody that would have been out partying all the time, but she was outgoing enough to make friends and all of those things, right? But she became pregnant by Tony the fisherman, and he did not know that she was trying to have a child until she told him. And he decided he wasn't going to tell his wife about this. This is a ladies' man. This is not this isn't going to look good for this guy. And he did a thing where he just decided, yeah, I'm just going to hold this one, and we're not going to talk about this right now. We're not doing it. Linda Schlechter is a local friend of Krista that used to watch Ava several times a week. And she talked about how absolutely devoted that Krista was to her daughter Ava. And that it meant just so much, that everything she did was for Ava, and Ava meant so very much to her. Now, Eric, when Krista's body has been found. Eric Williams, the local reporter, goes out and immediately starts doing interviews. And he goes to a man called Tim Arnold. Now, this is not Tom Arnold. This is not, nobody famous. This is Tim Arnold, who's local. And this is someone that was very, very good friends with Krista. Tim and Krista had been intimate. He had lived at some point in the bungalow with Krista and with Ava, so he was very familiar with Ava. They were what you might call friends with benefits for a really long time, and they were not ever really exclusive, even though all of the rumors about Krista were not true. He said those weren't true. She was more into her daughter and raising her daughter than any of those other things, because this was what she wanted, this quiet life with her daughter. She decided that this is not what she wanted. I got to get a drink. Time for coffee. Take a little coffee break, y'all. Yes, one of Krista's best friends raised Ava. And I'll give you an update on that here after a while. I think this is one of those situations where Tim Arnold really cared more for Krista than Krista cared for him. And for her, it felt more awkward than intimate. And I can totally relate to that, because it got that way with me and my ex, that yeah. I know some of y'all know what I mean. And Tim had this vision, though, that they would always be together, and he didn't really want to let go. This is not a guy that wanted to let go. This is a guy who always wanted to be there for her and be her friend, if nothing else, for forever and ever. Amen. Okay. Now, Tim had vision problems. He developed vision problems and other serious health problems. And in my estimation, with Krista, more than likely she felt, you know what? That's not someone I want as a baby daddy. So she got her baby and she moved on. So Tim is actually the person who found Krista. And he claimed that he came by her house on that evening to drop off a flashlight, because he had borrowed a flashlight, and that he wanted to come and he wanted to drop it off. Now, with his vision and his health problems, he could not drive. So his father drove him over to her house. And I've read other articles, and this was not said in the 48 hours thing, but in that it said that the father actually tried to talk him out of it, and that some of what was going on was that Tim just wanted to see her, and he was really just had this excuse to go over there with his flashlight. Did Rosie come in? Good evening, little Rosie. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah, that's right. We did get some rain, y'all. We got some rain. It's going to be in my story time, let me tell you. The law enforcement decided that it was possible when they heard Tim's story, they thought it was possible that Tim might have gone over, he might have gotten mad at her, and he might have hit her with the flashlight, attacked her, and took the little girl, and that he might have been jealous of Ava, that was partly his issue. Now they didn't talk about that in the 48 hours deal, but it was talked about in other places. All right, now let's get to the crime scene. Oh, I gotta move this. This thing is getting big enough. There we go. In the crime scene, Krista's body was found laying in a hallway close to the kitchen, and she was on her back, kind of splayed out. She was covered in blood from a very deep knife wound, which went through her lung and into the floor below her. She also had several bruises on her body, which meant that she had fought. If she had bruises, this means y'all know we pay attention to this when we listen to these things and we watch these things. When we talk about the forensics, we know that that means she was alive when that happened, because otherwise they would not have bruised. These bruises don't show up because you have to have the blood under the skin in order for that to happen. And once you're dead, that blood stops pumping, and those bruises aren't going to happen. They're going to pool. It'll pool, but it's not going to bruise. And she had a lot of bruises. The front door to her house was smashed in. There were drag marks outside. Several of her belongings, like her glasses, her socks, were in the front yard. Her belongings were scattered all over the front yard, between her car and the front door. And then that front door was smashed in. And then when they got inside of the house, this bungalow, it continued. Things were strung everywhere. There had been a huge struggle, that's probably where all these bruises came from, all of this stuff. The whole town of Truro was in shock. They were all in shock. Krista's murder brought the whole world in on this little town. It was their first murder in 30 years. Hello, Patricia. So very good to see you. Oh, thanks for coming and saying hello. Oh, that's awesome. Very glad you are here. How we doing on time? It's almost time for meds, y'all. All right, now we're going to get into the investigation. And in the investigation, things did not happen quickly. This is a small town. It's not that they did a horrible job, although it will be said that they did. It always is said that the defense does not do their job unless they say that the police did a bad job. It's just part of the defense's job. However, they immediately tried to blame several people, and one of them was Tim Arnold, and they interviewed him several times and tried to pin him to it. They also wanted to blame Tony Jacket. When they found out that Ava was Tony Jacket's child, that it had to have been because of Ava, and that he wanted to get rid of her because of Ava. Okay. So both of them, and they remained the main suspects for quite a while. There were other suspects, but they really honed in on those two guys for a long time. Rumors were, like I said, that Krista had been out and, she was loose woman out doing things. She was, trying to get pregnant, of course. So she was out, doing everybody, that was the rumors, which was not true. She was actually a little bit of a recluse. She was in that bungalow with her daughter, minding her own business. She did things. She got out and she had friends, but she wasn't out doing that stuff. So they also the law enforcement stuck to the idea that this was somebody local. This had to be somebody local. And one of the reasons that they felt that way was because this happened in January. We're talking snow. This is the East Coast. We're talking there's snow, there's ice on the water. There's not a lot of water stuff going on, which is, probably why Mr. Jacket and Miss Worthington were finding other things to do, right? And the tourism was almost stopped because nobody was coming for tourism at that time. So that was another reason they believed that it was somebody local. But then there's the DNA. So this is early 2000s. DNA is fully up and running. DNA was not being done in the same manner that it is being done now. It was not to the level of expertise that they have now with the equipment that they have now. But they did have, unlike some of the things that we have followed here, in the 80s, they didn't have the DNA. But they did in the early 2000s, and they had semen that had been found on her body. And we're going to get back to this, but keep in mind that the DA in this town did something unprecedented, a very unprecedented move. They sought to have testing done on every male in town. Everybody's going to get tested. And they got that approved. They got it approved. And they tested over 800 men in this case. Now, in the meantime, like I said, they're still looking at Tony. Tony, they're still looking at Tony. And it was disclosed, maybe from the friends, maybe from whoever, that Tony did not interact a whole lot with Ava at first. But what happened was Krista said, you are going to, this is your daughter. I want her to know you. I want you to spend time with her. I want her to get to spend time with you. Okay? So she insisted that he come and spend time with her. He still wasn't telling his wife. So she said, and you have to tell your wife. You really need to tell your wife about this. And you need to pay child support too. You need to do something for her because you are her father. So he did. Now, I think that says a lot about Tony that he actually did tell his wife at this point when she asked him to. Okay, y'all. I'm going to hand serves off to Mr. Fiber. It's time, bud. You ready? We got to do that 8 o'clock thing, y'all. Okay. I have my medicine here, but I'm going to go make sure he goes in. You ready? Let's go see Dad. Where's your green toy? Where is it, Bobby? Where is your green toy? You better go find it. Here it is. Hey, Cerberus. Here it is. There you go. Go to Dad. Give it to Dad. Okay, now I'm going to take, like them fancy pants, I'm going to take my medicine now. And I do that off camera because, you know, if the kids watch my videos, y'all take your nightly meds now. Okay. Hello, Ellie. Did you get your package? I hope you did. I don't remember if we talked about it because my memory sucks. Oh my goodness. Chelsea sent me a picture of something. Nooks. Not book nooks, but nooks. Oh, that's cute. Look at what she sent. I don't know where she's at where she saw this. Chelsea's out having fun with her friends tonight. Go Chelsea. Nooks. Have to look into that. Okay, Mimi. Love you. I love all y'all that are watching on TV. Hello. I see you, and I'm so glad you are here. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Susan. Susan Burke is here. 30 minutes. If you take okay, if you take them, you'll only be able to last about 30 minutes. Okay, I got you. Gotcha. There she is, Leanie. Thank you. These are some of my favorite. These are my something pop. Forget what it was called. They're from California. You are so welcome. Yeah, exactly. They're nasty. They're nasty. You don't want to ever have to take them. They're nasty. I already took them. Thank you. Oh, man, my deliveries are just all my stuff's getting delivered. It's all sitting over there, and I hadn't had time to do a video one. All right. Back to Tony. We're about halfway with the story. With this story, about halfway. right. Back to my poncho. Tony's wife forgave him. She was interviewed for the 48-hour show, and she said, in spite of everything, she loves him. He's a good man, and she saw no reason to live her life and be bitter and unhappy over the whole thing. And, he needed to spend that time with his daughter. So she insisted that they have Krista and Ava come over for dinner. And they would have them over regularly for dinner to interact with them, and that he would get to spend that time with his daughter, and everything was amicable and easygoing. And it's hard to believe, but it was. And she spoke very highly of Krista, and she said that Krista was a very nice person, and she had no problem with her whatsoever. She also said that Tony was with her on the night that Krista was killed. So it could not have been. Yeah, and stuck with 6 kids. Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah. Let's don't forget that's 6, now 7. Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, I'm sure they know how that works now. I would think so. There were claims that Krista's rich father, who had Krista's father had a 29-year-old girlfriend who was addicted to heroin. And there were claims that this girl had something to do with Krista's murder, because Krista was upset with her father that he was spending so much money to keep bailing her out of jail and keep helping this girlfriend. They weren't married. It was a girlfriend. And she was 29 and all the things. So they thought maybe she had something to do with it. So they kicked that one around for a little while. And then a lot of that was back when the media picked up on it. And you can find it's actually in the 48 hours, but you can see there are clips of her trying to get away from the media. It took more than a year to get the DNA back from Krista's autopsy. And it came back with a real shock to law enforcement, because there was unknown male in the profile. The DNA on Krista did not match Tony Jacket, did not match Tim Arnold, did not match a guy that was friends with Tony that came or Tim or somebody came that would take showers in the outdoor shower that was there by the beach. They tested him. They tried to say it was him. It didn't match any of these people they were looking at. This was unknown. And that is when they decided on the 800 men. That is when they decided, okay, we got to do something else, and they got the okay to do the testing. And they took over 800 samples. They tested dozens of these samples. Now, by this time, during all of this that was going on, Ava had gone to live with Krista's good friend, Amara Chase, and she was named in Krista's will as her guardian. Tony was allowed to see Ava once a week, and he fought for custody, but he lost. And he has always said that the reason he lost was because they kept him as a suspect in the case. And then he lost. He did not get custody of her, as hard as he tried. In April of 2006, a hit, finally, there's a hit on the unknown male suspect DNA. And they arrested Christopher McGowan, the garbage man. The garbage man. They found him right under their noses, living in a boarding house with marijuana and painkillers sitting on his side table, his little stash next to him there. He was stoned out of his mind when they picked him up. And he claimed he didn't know Krista. Didn't know her. No, I don't know her. I don't know what you're talking about. He was interviewed twice. And he had given his DNA along with everybody else back when they had asked for all those samples, which is how they got the hit. And he had been in CODIS for drug-related charges or something or other. He had a history. And his story changes. In an interview, his interview with them, his story kept changing. In one of his stories, he says, yes, he went there, but you know what? It was consensual. You know, it was consensual. They had a relationship. And then in another story, he said, well, yeah, I did. I went there and I beat her up, but I didn't kill her. Then he went on with another story and he blamed someone named Jeremy Frazier. This was his buddy that he had been partying with that night. They had gone out drinking. And he blamed it on Jeremy. Just simply because he'd been with him that night. He needed a name, right? You got to get out of this and we need a name. Well, here's the problem. Jeremy's DNA is nowhere near Krista. Nothing. There's nothing. So it ain't Jeremy. Now, during his interview, he refused a lawyer. He also refused to have his testimony taped. So there's no taping, no record of his interview whatsoever. Well, you know his lawyer is going to use that, right? And it was used in court by his defense, who claimed that there was a report made about the interview, and it had all these different stories that Mr. McGowan had come up with. But this report was written a week later by one of the investigators. It wasn't even done the night of the interviews. It was done a week later. And of course, his defense said that was unreliable. As he would. Especially if he's doing his job. The report mentioned the fact that Christopher gave at least a dozen different accounts of what had happened that night. And the defense also claims that Mr. McCowan, being black, of a low income, and a low IQ, were also used against him. Yeah, I am adding some extra details. I sure am. Hi, Cindy. Glad you're here and listening. So I have a question for y'all. Since it was brought up about his limited intellectual capacity and saying that Mr. McCowan had a 76 IQ on a good day, for reference, does anyone know what an average IQ is? No, there were rumors about that, but they just wanted everybody. They were convinced it was somebody local, not because she was seeing a lot bunch of people. No, they had a court order, but that was brought up, and they all came in and volunteered it. They were told that they didn't have a choice, but they didn't go out and get them. They all came in and gave it. Yes. So 76 IQ falls in the borderline for intellectual intelligence, below the average of 90. It indicates a slower cognitive reasoning and processing skills. Okay. That, his lawyer made Christopher literally unable to defend himself. Now, those who have a lower than average intelligence according to their IQ are roughly 6 to 8% of the population. Okay? And actually, at 6 and 8%, that's really a lot of people. But most people fall between a 90 to a 109. Once you hit 110 IQ, you are considered to be a above average. That's where above average starts. People who are considered to have a high IQ score somewhere in the neighborhood of 130 or more. Okay? Those people are in the neighborhood of 2% of the population. Very few. Now, if you thought we were going to get through this, we now have someone in custody. We're now going to be going to court. All the things are moving forward. His DNA could not at any speaking of the numbers, there is no way this man's DNA could have been anywhere else but him and Krista. It's just not possible with the numbers the way that they came out with the DNA. But we have courtroom drama. Yes. Yeah. I have a feeling that was an issue somewhere, but nobody talked about that as far as in the appeals. I have an I feel as if it was possible that might have been one of his appeals, because he did have some appeals. There have been some. But I bet you that was one of them, that he was forced to give his DNA. So according to the prosecution, their story is McGowan's DNA was found in Krista. He confessed. He said, I never meant for that woman to die. I never meant for her to get hurt. He drank and partied all night before going over to her house. He knew where she was because he's the one who emptied her trash every week. So he knew her. He'd seen her. He knew that the house was in a secluded area. Okay. He drove there and he confronted her outside, which is where the first struggle happened. Chased her inside because she managed to get in the house, probably with her daughter in her arms. He broke the door down. He raped and killed her. Because by the time he got inside and got to her, he was mighty mad. And more than likely, I don't know that it is probably going to be in the records for the court somewhere, but I would imagine that was a knife from in her house. It's an opportunistic thing. According to the defense, McCowan had consensual sex with Krista earlier in the day. And then, that would have been while he was on his route emptying trash and all that. They saw each other and they were like, oh, we can't help ourselves. And they went in and they had sex. And then someone came back later and killed her. That was his story. Yeah. Didn't happen, my friend. Did not happen. Krista's best friend, going back to this was the guy that was her boyfriend previously. He said, yeah, we talked all the time. He said, I actually physically saw her face to face 2 weeks before she was killed. And he said, you know what? The fact that I had sex with the garbage man just did not come up. It didn't come up. Nowhere at all did she say, I screwed the garbage man. The defense says he was coerced to give his confession. He was railroaded. The crime scene was contaminated. There was other evidence that never got tested. All the things. Her daughter, it is not clear where she was when the attack took place. Okay? We have no idea of knowing what actually happened in all of that time before she was found the next morning. So it's unclear where her daughter was during this attack. It is said there is evidence that after Krista died, Ava tried to nurse. She took a stool and she went in front of the sink and she got a wash rag and she got it wet and she took it to her mama and she tried to wipe her mama's face to get the blood off. There's a lot of really sad things. Her footprints were all through the house with her mama's blood. She was by herself with her mom for a very long time before Tim Arnold came and got her. Tim Arnold had her in his arms when he is the one who made the 911 call when she was found, and he was carrying her around in a panic and took her out to the car where his dad was out there, and he took her out there and gave her to her dad and said, I got a call, and called 911. The verdict. Here's the courtroom drama. After 5 days, they were deadlocked. Now, this is interesting, and don't forget, On day 6, a juror was let go. First, they're deadlocked, and the following day, a juror is let go. Because the juror had a husband who was arrested. The night of being deadlocked, she spoke to her husband in jail and told him that she was very upset with the law enforcement and their investigation. You're not supposed to talk about the case. So she was let go. So now we have a new jury with an alternate, and they had to start over again. But they went another 2 days before they came back with a guilty on day 8 with first-degree murder, life without parole. But wait, that's not all either. Within months of this verdict, all the jurors in this trial were recalled by the judge, because within those months from the verdict, several jurors were saying that there had been bias. They were claiming there was racial bias in the jury during deliberations. So the judge recalled the 12 jurors that had been on the jury, and he interviewed everybody on record. And, this reminds me of the Murdaugh thing, with tampering and I'm like, I get PTSD with that. And we haven't even got to the new trial for Murdaugh yet, but oh my God. Okay, so after everybody was questioned, the judge determined that yes, there were statements that were made. Some jurors felt uncomfortable. There was tension in the jury room. Y'all, there is always tension in the jury room. Almost always. There are going to be people who are unhappy about this or unhappy about that. But the point is, they all have to come to some sort of an understanding. And they did. They came to an understanding. And it was guilty. So he upheld the conviction. Then it went to the state judicial court in 2010. And it was upheld again. Okay. The state judicial court upheld it. Then Christopher McGowan gets a new legal team, and they file several motions. Now, they're wanting a new trial, but here's the thing. You have to have new evidence for a new trial, or something like with Becky Hill, which they could prove that there was tampering or whatever. Something has to have changed from the trial before. And of all the 4 motions so far that have been filed on behalf of Mr. McGowan, they have all been denied. Now, here's an update. I don't have a picture. I wish I could find a picture of Ava. There is a picture somewhere, I think it was on 48 Hours, of Ava McGowan. No. Of Ava Worthington. Let me see if I can find anything here. She has graduated from college, and she still sees her dad. There are pictures of her somewhere with her dad, but I'm not finding it. I know it was on the 48 Hours episode towards the end. Yeah, towards the end of it, there was a beautiful picture of her and her father. She's absolutely beautiful. And she's doing very well, and she still sees her dad. They still have a relationship. Okay. What y'all think? That is where that one stands. But there is, like I said, if you really want to listen to more and hear some more and do some more deep dive, there's an awful lot of stuff out there. The book that was written is said to be a very good book. I would stick with the Invisible, whatever, Invisible Eden or whatever. I think that came more or less was done according to Eric Williams, the local reporter. He felt that the author of that one was trying to do the right thing by the, the victim and her family in her book. And those are the ones, if you're coming at it from the victim and their family and staying true to that, is usually the books that I enjoy. So that is Massachusetts. We're not going to put it in because we're going to pick another one. Good night, Joan. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, shoot. One of them jumped out. Should we take that one? It's just one. Should we take that one? It jumped out of there. Serbs is doing good. Are you talking about Serbs? He's doing good. I'm going to give you the update on that here in just a minute. Oh, that's the one we did before. I don't want to do that again. That was New Hampshire. We already did that one. Let me get a different one. That East Coast is strong. Strong in here. Okay. I am going to tell you a list of what states I have in here so that if you guys want to tell me that I missed one that you want me to put in there. I have Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, Colorado, Louisiana, West Virginia, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Ohio, Nevada, Texas, Illinois, Manitoba, New York, Ontario, Arizona, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Canada, California, Utah, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Virginia, New Hampshire, Michigan, Kansas, Indiana, Washington, and Connecticut. And also, if you are watching this back and you would like me to add your state, put it in the comments after this is posted. Okay, are we ready to see what it is? Florida. So I will find a 48 hours episode that took place in Florida. Does anybody have any ideas? I don't think Bree is here tonight. Bree is my Florida girl, one of them. I haven't seen Karen in a long time. If you're watching Karen, hi. She's Florida. Trying to think of who else. Now, when I figure out which one, I will put it in the community. Did I not say that, Patricia? Let me check. Let me check again. I did not. I will add you for next time. Okay. Yeah, we cut. Oh, the Adelsons. Oh, hello, Sally. Okay, I need another piece of paper. I think I used all my pieces of paper. Nope, there's none. North Carolina. Yeah, we had talked about, we didn't do an in-depth one, but we have talked about Adelsons. Going in. There we go. I may have to go in here and these ones that are like open like this and shut them down a little bit, you know, do a better job with these before next time. Y'all don't let me forget. All right. Hello, Laura. Yeah, I do have Washington. So, Stephon Stearns. Goodness, is that Florida? Is he in Florida? Is that a Florida one? Oh, my. Oh, I have plenty of paper, and I got more coming. I have been doing a little bit of retail therapy because next month is my birthday month. That's right. But I've also been doing some organizing. So let me show you just briefly. This is part of what I've been doing here. See this? I have been organizing my dies and putting labels. And it has made a huge difference in how much room these take up by taking them out of all their packaging and all of that stuff and putting them in here. And now I can flip through here and go, oh, let's do cake and ice cream, cup of tea, thank you. Hey, Chels. Is that Chels? Hey, honey. She and I are the organizers. We love to organize. Look, Chels, I got a butterfly border. And then butterflies here. This is what I've got done so far. And these are the magnet sheets. Love you, honey. And then I'm using this thing, which is extremely frustrating. It's called the Brother P-Touch. It's called P-Touch because it pisses me off. That's what that P stands for. I can't find the clear button, so I have to go back to start over. I can't find the place where I can enter them in and do several and then cut them later. But I'm making it work. Oh, you said, oh, you know I got paper. Yes, there's Chels. She's out with the girls tonight. Happy Friday, Chels. I love you. Oh, it's driving me nuts, y'all. It is. It's driving me nuts. But I'm getting there, as you can see. And that right there, I went through a whole cartridge of paper already. And then yesterday, when the electricity was off, I was trying to find the paper to keep going because Mr. Fiber, okay, we're going to start our story time here at home. So those of you who do not want to stay, I understand. I love y'all. If you were only here for the crime, if you were here for more than that, thank you very much. And we're fixing to get into it. Oh, you saw what? Oh, that's fun to see with the girls. Oh, I didn't know they had a second. I had been looking everywhere. I did find the manual from the Brother website. So I did do that. But I've been looking everywhere for videos, and there are nothing. They're nothing. Not with this one. But it's all right. I'm gonna make it work. Okay, the bod poncho. Let me see if it's in my library. One moment, please. It should be in my history, but it may be, back a little ways. Let me just go to bods. It should tell me because I did a search for it recently. So sometimes if you've done one, the recent one, it will tell you ones that you were looking at. I don't know. It's not popping up. Good night, honey. Love you. It's not popping up when I try to find it. Sorry. I don't see it. So I'll have to try to find it. I don't know if I wrote it. Let me see if I wrote it in my notes. In the planner. Hi, Brett. A poncho is closed, but you can sometimes wear a poncho. Like a poncho is something you put your head through. Is my easiest, my best answer for that. Wow, I did not write it down on here either. I'm going back to the other months to see if I had it in there. But I finished the cardigan, by the way. I'll be showing you that too. Nope. It just says bod poncho with jade speckle. Sorry. Yeah. See, the shawls usually are a wrap around, whereas a poncho, Yeah, has a back and a front, goes over your head. Huh? Okay. Good night, Ellie. So let's start about 3 weeks ago. Mr. Fiber got bit by a wingless wasp on his toe. Okay. And he had to stay home and take Benadryl because his toe swelled up. It makes him kind of miserable sometimes. It just depends. One time it's not too bad. The next time it's just kind of miserable. And then he was at home and he was taking a little snooze. And I was doing stuff, and I don't remember what day it was. But we remember me telling you that we're getting a generator, like one that with a switch. Okay. Dad got a generator, and we decided we wanted a generator. We had the guy come out. He looked at everything. He told us what we needed to do. We have rural electric. Chelsea always laughs because I can say that word. She said she can't say it. And it's supposed to be a co-op. Okay. Well, we had to call the electric company and get them to come out and put a box for us out here, a new setup, so that we could get the generator. And our electrician said that did all of Dad's stuff. We didn't have to do that because he already had a box. And he wasn't required to let the electric company know or anything because everything was already there on the pole and ready to go. But ours was not. This house is very old, and its wiring is just as old. And without getting into, I'm not getting into all that. It just wasn't there, and we needed that setup. Well, when we notified them, they said they would this is before that happened. There was something that happened before, and here's what happened. He was laying down taking his nap. I was walking back here. I had just gotten my coffee, and I was back here at the back part of the house, and there was a big thud, like just really loud. And I was like, was that thunder? Did a branch fall? I really thought it was a branch. A branch must have fallen. I walked out to go outside to go see. I was like, let's go make sure it didn't fall on the she shed or, I don't know what it fell on or whatever. And I go out and I look, the wall fell. Mr. Fiber's great-grandfather built this house with concrete blocks from a block form that he made himself. This house is concrete. So there was a garage just behind the she shed now. There was a wall. And in between that wall and the back part of the house, which is no longer there, that part of the house back behind here is no longer there. That had fallen down a long time ago because there wasn't enough rebar put in there. Well, that wall was still there. Now let me see if I can show you this. Give me a minute to find it. That's the back of the she shed. That's the electrical pole. That's the wall. We had already had the propane tank placed. See these blocks? These were all done by his great-great-grandfather. Not great-great, but his great-grandfather. I had to go wake him up. I need you to get up and come look at this. Man, it was loud, y'all. When a wall falls down, and I had for about 2 or 3 days before this happened. I don't know if any of you have it. I know a lot of you are going to say, oh, that's woo-woo and all that stuff. Okay. But for 2 or 3 days before that, I had this feeling that I couldn't shake. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. I was hoping it wasn't one of the kids or if it wasn't my dad or something's going on. You know, something was just off and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then I did not know that the walls were literally about to fall. Now I know. And I can't help him. I am physically unable and not allowed to do that. I can't lift anything. I can't do anything. All I can do is be moral support, which is what I did. And he took every one of those, put them in the back of the truck. We lifted them all. He broke some of them up with what do you call that? A dead weight hammer. And he broke those up and he took them and we put them down in the drawer. And I rode with him. He started that night in the dark. He went and got garage lights and he hooked them up back there and he worked all night because he had that nap because of the bite. Now he's got to get his foot in the shoe. He's got to do all that. And y'all, I can't say enough about Mr. Fiber right now. I really can't because it's just been unbelievable this last 3 weeks. He's had to deal with an awful lot. A lot. Let me just say that. And it's not just been here. It's also been at work. There have been some things going on at work. And he's trying to be in both places to help, to be helpful. But it's been hard. So, yeah, he had to move a wall because this was on a Sunday. I remember now it was on a Sunday. And that next Monday, we'd already had that propane tank placed. It knocked it off of it was empty, but there was no propane or anything, but it knocked it off of the bricks. So he also had to put it back on the bricks because the guy lifted it with his truck, with his lift on his truck to put it on the bricks. So I had to do all of that and clear all of that wall because on that Monday morning, we were supposed to have the generator placed. Thank you, Lord, above that. The generator was not there when the wall fell. It's actually, here's what he said. He said, you know what? It's actually a blessing in disguise because the generator wasn't there and now it's all going to be done. It needed to be done. It needed to come out. And what had happened was as Seta says. The trees that were back here, he's been taking them out, okay? And those trees and the wall were literally holding each other up. And it finally just went. I know. I will do that. I will definitely do that. So he got all of that cleaned up, and then guess what? Our contractor called the electric company and said, you can't do anything. Why is that? Well, you have to apply for. So Mr. Fiber's been paying this bill for over 20 years, our electric bill. This is the family farm, okay? And previously it was his Papa George. Well, Papa George died 20 years ago. The electric company didn't know that he died. Lance has been paying the bill. He's been paying it all this time. And they said that we didn't have authority because it was in Papa George's name and not our name. So we didn't have any authority to make those changes to the electric. Now we're going through all these hoops to get it in our name. We have to pay all the deposits. We have to fill out all the paperwork. And guess what? This is a co-op. This is rural electric. And I might get pissed off when I tell you this part. We have no other choice for electricity. None. There's no choices. We can't pick another company, get something done easier. We can't do any of that. None of that. No, there's none of that. You got one choice, and you got to do what they tell you to do. And there's no office. Because we drove over to the office. It's not there. They closed it. Sign on the door. No, it's not from the co-op. It's because we needed the authority to make those changes to the property. Anyway, the nearest office is in Azle, near Dallas. They have 8 guys covering this entire region for the co-op. It's taken 3 weeks, y'all. It's taken 3 weeks. And they wouldn't do anything. We filled out the paperwork, we did all the things, and then they wouldn't do anything until they had their money. Because we weren't human until they had their money. Now they have their money. Now they have the paperwork. Now we had to fill out paperwork for the generator to get approved to have a generator to go along with their stuff. Okay, we got that done too. We got the letter this morning saying that we've been approved. Well, thank you very much. Oh yeah, they also sent us a letter that said, we're so very sorry for your loss. Fucking 20 years ago. You only do a little bit of bookkeeping. Just a little bit of bookkeeping. Hi, Lori. Oh, it has been fun over here on the farm. Fun. Okay, so then so that was 3 weeks, 2 Mondays ago, really. Last Monday, I got my latest shot. Yeah. You all saw the pictures. And I'm still I'm still flushing. It's not completely gone. This is like what I'm calling my new normal now. I had a reaction to my steroids that were injected into my right SI joint. I had a vascular reaction, and I just turned red. It wasn't a rash, but it was hot. It was so hot. Let me tell you, Tank, I don't know if you're still here, but man, the cooling towel thing, man, it was my best friend. Me and my cooling towel, we went everywhere together. It was just hot. Benadryl didn't work. Benadryl, I tried it and I couldn't do anything for a couple of days because I was on Benadryl. It didn't help. I did call the clinic and tell the pain management people what happened, and they said it does happen sometimes. This was finally it started to let up on, and I was fine Monday night. It hit me Tuesday afternoon. And went through all through Tuesday evening, all through Wednesday, and finally by Thursday afternoon, it started to let up, and it was not as hot. It was still red, but it was not as hot as last week. When the wall fell, it took out the meter. The meter, it broke the meter. And when we called and told them that our meter was broken, it was on the weekend again, and they had said, well, okay, we're going to turn it in. We're going to turn in a ticket, and they will come out and they'll put a new meter on. We heard nothing. Nothing. This is after we turned in the paperwork. They're waiting for our money, all of that stuff, nothing. And we figured, well, I guess they're not going to do anything until they get our money. Nothing. So Mr. Fiber went out there and he wrapped it because we had 3 days of rain after that. And we were like, this is all open. Well, no, it's not that. That is not what my flushing is not that. I am my testing, by the way, is in they're very close to starting my sequencing for my testing. I sent off to be sequenced, Patricia, and I believe that I have MCAS, which is mast cell activation syndrome, and I'm learning a great deal about that also. It is not menopause. I'm well past that. I'm going to be 62 this year, and they had told me that is not it. It is not it. It has been a clusterfuck, is what it has been. We're just having so much fun over here. And y'all know now why I have been a little quiet. It is related to Ehlers-Danlos. Yes. Yes, it is. So actually, it is the trifecta. The trifecta is Ehlers-Danlos, which is hypermobile, and oh, am I still here? Was a little bleep there, and it is the MCAS, and it is POTS. If you know what POTS is, the little Sharilla girl thinks she has POTS. Maybe she does. I don't know. That's not what caused her to run into a wall. Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and you don't necessarily have to faint to have POTS. So that's the trifecta. But there are 13 related illnesses that go with the Ehlers-Danlos. So, okay. So we finally, day before yesterday, Hello, Tina. Yes, that's POTS. Hmm. It typically happens to people who have POTS. If they are going to pass out, it typically will happen when they stand up. They will be sitting for a little while, then when they stand up, their system, everything has cooled, and their system does not react as quickly, and it causes them to pass out. And they call that syncope. That's fainting. Syncope. It also causes dysautonomia. I got all the words. Oh, I saw a t-shirt today and I'm waiting. If I do get the diagnosis, I have not been diagnosed yet. I still do not have a diagnosis. I do have information on a doctor. That is correct. That syncope. Yeah. Syncope. Yeah. Syncope. Yeah. That's it. That's a word for fainting. But I saw a t-shirt today and I really want it. But I want to make sure I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it, but I really like to get. Yes, there is a vascular EDS, which is called VEDS. We need to talk, Scrimshaw. Absolutely. Shoot me an email. Okay, so here's what the t-shirt. It's a picture of someone going like this, going like that, where thumb reaches. This is the Ehlers-Danlos, what they call it, hand signal. What they call it, gang sign. This is the Ehlers-Danlos gang sign. I have to have that shirt. I have to have it. Echocardiogram. Yeah. Your best bet, I will tell you all, there's a lot of different places to look for information on Ehlers-Danlos. Syncope. Yes, syncope. Well, this is the end of it. It just sort of turned into that. I'm telling my stories. I know. I am not a doctor. I don't even play one on TV. The Ehlers-Danlos Society has a lot. I am really double jointed. So see, there are 9 different I guess you call them signs that are on something called the Baton score. This is one of them, being able to bend your, this is one, that's 2. All of these are, see how they all double jointed, every single one of them. That's 3. My arms, so when I turn, they stay up. See, they stay up. Both arms, that's 5 out of 9 right there. My knees, when I'm standing, my knees go back. And you only need 5. Is it 4 or 5 out of 9 on the Baton score to be considered hypermobile with if you're using the Baton score? I know. There's a lot of words. I'm telling you. Well, some of us do when we're trying to figure out our own shit. You feel like you learn more than the doctor when you're doing that. You know it? Okay, so y'all didn't think Mr. Fiber liked me for my looks, did you? Too much, I know. We have to laugh, y'all. We have to laugh. Come on now. The last 3 weeks we've had, man. No, bow-legged is out this way. Mine go in like my arms do. They go backward. The joint laxity, yes. So EDS is a connective tissue disease. Y'all are paying attention. I say those things, see how many y'all are paying attention. Okay. So the wall was cleared. He got that cleared. He got all that done. We're waiting on that. We jump through all the hoops with the electric. All this finally gets done. Yesterday, the electric company finally came out. They called an electrician for us. The electrician came out. They got everything put on the pole. Everything's going. Electric's going. I went to the chiropractor yesterday. The cracker practor. That's what Solomon calls it, the cracker pector. No, cracker practor. Pector. There's no pector. There's no pector in there. And also I went to Hobby Lobby. I can show you my Hobby Lobby if y'all want to see it. Y'all are up for it. I got home. They had just finished up when I got home yesterday. Everything was done. Electric was on. The house is cooling back down. And we were around 80 yesterday, thankfully. It wasn't really, really bad during the day while they were working on it. It hadn't gotten super, super warm. And we were sitting here and whoop, electric went off. Well, shit. Now what? Mr. Fiber went out and looked. He could not. At first, I thought it was just the she shed because I went that way, and Mr. Fiber had replaced our 2 bulbs back here in the laundry room with emergency bulbs. We have some emergency ones that screw into the bulb, into the socket, and those came on automatically. So I saw lights, and I thought, was it just the she shed? And then I realized that those, and then he got to thinking about it, and he said, wait a minute. In order for those bulbs to come on, there has to be a short because they're getting juice to turn them on. It wasn't dark yet. It was still light out, so it wasn't dark in here. It was stuffy. It wasn't super hot. So now me and my cooling towel are now friends again. At Hobby Lobby, I bought a fan. Let me show you. This is one of my purchases yesterday at Hobby Lobby. Was this little fan. It has 3 settings. It has a deal you could actually hang it up so that you don't have to be holding it, and then it recharges, and it's a C charger. But let me tell you, Mr. Fiber did not say well shit. That word right there. A couple times. So he called the electrician. Well, first he didn't have the electrician's phone number because the co-op had called the electrician. So he called the electric company guy, and he texted him, and he just started hitting up everybody, and he got the phone number for the electrician. We called it. We didn't get anybody to come back out. Nobody. Nobody came out. Mr. Fiber had bought a generator before, and it's a portable generator that you put gas in. It won't run much. Yes, that's right, Patricia. And thank you for your service and theirs. And all of our law enforcement and military, thank you so much for your service. Um, he hooked it up. He had meant that one. We had two lines. We had water because we had electricity to the water to the pump. That was running. It's this pole up here that wasn't. So he brought that up and he said, I'll hook that up because that's what he has designated to use for the well house. Either one of these things is hard to deal with when you lose either electricity for up here or you lose the water, because now you can't flush the toilet, you can't wash dishes, you can't, all the things, right? He put that on. Good night, Tamra. Good to see you. You take care of yourself. I'm sending you nice, gentle hugs, and I hope everything comes out really well for you, okay? Um, we were able to run the refrigerator, the air conditioner in the bedroom, and one CPAP. So I went and I tried to lay down for a little while, but I couldn't sleep. I just could not sleep. It was comfortable. Everything was fine. Had my CPAP, everything. I tried, but I couldn't sleep. So I went and I told him, I said, I know you're tired. It has been a shit day. You need to go lay down. So he went and he laid down for a little while. Hey, LJ, how are you? Good to see you. So we just tag teamed it, and it was comfortable. Cerberus was in there. Cerberus is okay. I am now giving Cerberus. He gets 3 gabapentin a day. He gets 2 Novox a day, morning and evening. Yeah, I got to go give him his medicine too. I'm going to do that before I show y'all that so I don't forget to give him his. Oh, they are not cheap. No, they are not cheap. You are correct. This is not, we have bled money this month. Let me just tell you. I'm going to go give him his medicine. I'll be right back to show you this Hobby Lobby, y'all. Sir? You watched my video yesterday, Tina? Yes. Hey, Shad, you're still here? Hello, hello. I I don't know, Cindy. We don't know whether he has anything serious. It's just that we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We are going to just act like everything's okay and just love him as long as we have him. I am not going to do anything what I call life saving or anything like that because we don't really know. We don't know for sure. But the one that he has right on his haunch back here, it it grew a little bit too fast, and she felt of it and took pictures of it, and she said it looks suspicious. Everything else she feels like are all benign. We don't know what's going on inside. We just don't know. So we're gonna walk, and we're gonna do the treats, and we're gonna do the things, and we're just gonna live life. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna live life. And he gets his gabapentin 3 times a day. He gets his Novox twice a day. I've got to spray his face 3 times a day. It looks bad. It looks bad. I have to clean the carpet because he lays down, and then when he gets up, there's this nasty mess on the carpet, and I'm just letting him do that, and then I just follow around behind him, and I get my Resolve and my washcloth, and I clean it, and I say, "What are you doing, puppy? You gonna lay down and take a nap now? You got your medicine, huh?" He's over there. We just gotta love on him. We just gonna love on him. So that's the update with Serves. It is what it is, you guys. So what I did, I needed a day. I needed a day. I did not know we weren't going to have any electricity. No telling what I would have spent at Hobby Lobby. Anyway, I just went walking around. I was looking for, I may turn my camera back on for you guys too. Let me just do that. I went for yarn for Mr. Fiber. I got this pillow for $5.49. It's a 12 by 16. And what Mr. Fiber wants his to be a little bit more, he wants one to go behind his head when he's sitting at his chair and watching his racing. So I'm going to make it like I did the boys' pillows. And I got this one. And I got 2 of them. I don't think I'm going to need 2 of them, but I didn't want to run out, so I got 2. And this is that Cozy Occasion. This one's called Rain Wheel is the color. And it's the gray and the dark gray, the light gray, the white. I'm telling you, they made a mess out of his face, and it is just bad. It is just bad. And if it doesn't get any better, I'm putting spray on it 3 times a day. If it's not better by next week, I will take him back in. But I'm gonna make the back for it, and then what I'm gonna do is size it, and then I will squish it down when I put it inside of there so that it's a little bit stiffer, so that it's not fast, because he wants it a little stiffer than this. So that's what that was for, and it was 30% off week. So this is 101 yards, $5.99, and I got that 30% off. So there's 2 of those, and that's Mr. Fiber's new pillow going to be his new pillow. Let's set that over there because I want to work on that. That's why I went in there. Oh, I'm going to put this in your package, Laura, if you're still watching, but I got you something. Whoop, that's it. I got a candle. These were marked. They had a whole bunch of candles that were marked down. This was from $4.99 down to $2.74. I was looking for these orange tags all over the place, but There was no orange in the yarn. There was just kind of spread out certain places in the store. This one is smoked patchouli. I love patchouli. Smoky, sweet, and earthy. Let's see. Then I found 2 scraps on the clearance. I found 2 scraps of fabric. Let's see. Bring my camera in for y'all. All right. Don't be peeking. No peeking. Yeah. We want that generator, and he's supposed to be here. Okay, it's all fixed. It's all fixed. They came out this morning. It took 5 minutes, and I'll tell you what it was. I don't understand it, but let me tell you real quick what happened with the electricity, okay? When they set the box up, they put switches, okay? And when we put the switches there, the guy took the kind of like, you know how when you put the printer ink in and you put it in and then you click it into place? It's kind of like that where they put the switches on there. Oh, come on. Because I'm trying to do it, I can't. Right in there. Well, right where that switch got pushed in, there was 4 of them there, and 2 of them aren't being used. One of them goes up and one of them goes, anyway. The one that was there that was supposed to be making a connection did make a connection, kind of like a breaker, yes, kind of like a breaker. I don't know that it calls it a breaker, but anyway. It was popped up and not down like it should have been had it been pushed in all the way. So out there, it popped it. All they had to do was come out here, turn it off, push everything in, everything was fine. Actually, he just moved it over to the other one. This one was $1.89. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? Roses and teacups. This will make a pretty little journal. A journal cover. $1.89. This one, they said, is a gauze. I didn't even feel of it. I felt like that might not be the right thing to do. Take it out and be all touchy and feely because it's got a staple in it too. But this one was $1.16. This will be really cool to put on cards to cut them out and put them on cards. See, it's a gauze. And it'll have that frayed edge on it. Won't that be pretty? A little square put underneath. No, I'm not going to quilt. I once thought that I would like to quilt, but it didn't go anywhere. $1.16 though. Not bad. Okay. Then I got this piece of fabric. Cotton. It's 43 by 25. It was $4.85, and they marked it down to $3.89. No, $3.39 for this one. This one has bees. Bees and little houses. Look at that. This one's got quite a bit in it. I mean, this is enough to make a bag, probably, but it's pretty. And I'll probably put it out. This is something I can put out in my storage building. I've got a section out in my storage building for sewing area. Okay, they had some of their jewelry. Some of the jewelry and buttons. Not jewelry, but buttons. Not jewelry, buttons. Yes, they had buttons. Okay. This one was $1.24. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? There's how they're the they've got the, I forget what they call it. It escapes me now what they call that post, the post on the back. And there was this one, just little medallions. Yes, that is peaceful. Hats off to you. 94 cents for 3 of them. I got flags. If I do 4th of July stuff, 57 cents. I mean, yes. And then these are clasps. See that? These are 2-piece, and there's two sets for $1.24, and it's like a rose copper color. I got those. I look and see whenever those are on sale. There was a whole bunch more that were on sale, but I did not get them. Okay, this is going to go in a future giveaway. This is a set of 8, size 8 millimeter, 7-inch, 5 millimeters, number 8, size 8 DPNs. And I was looking for, but I didn't find a US 816 to do hats. I want to do a hat set for a giveaway, but I didn't find one. So we keep looking. Oh, I found this one too. This was in the, I think this was in their spring stuff, but I wasn't sure. Even at $7.99, these are earrings. So we have the flags and the stars. This one was missing a back. I should have seen that. That's all right. So I got my 4th of July earrings. Oh, this was on sale. I found a couple of things that were, this one was 99 cents, and this will make a great front on a Christmas card. I have one of these. All of this stuff was 40% off in the, I might have lied. I'm not quite sure that this was 40% off. Some of them are and some of them weren't. These were only $2.49 for 3 of them. And I have one, and I used it on a card. I think Ellie got that card. And I used my mister, and I want to make some more misters. Cleaning putty. This is for my car. That area right by my gear shift driving me nuts. I can't get that clean. Oh, I got 2 of them. Okay, I got some refills. I have one of these, and I do not have refills for it. This is the Click Eraser. Pentel Click Eraser. See, it goes. So this is the refills for that. I didn't have any refills for it. I love these pencils. This is the Sumo. I think I put the other one in my travel. I did. I have another one and I put it in my travel deal. But this is a 0.9 and I don't remember what my other one was. And it's refillable. And the grip on this one is wonderful. If you've never tried these Sumo grip ones, hey Thrifty. These feel great. And because I have issues with my grip, this is nice. I love this, especially for a pencil, because a pencil flows different than a pen does. It takes a little bit more push. I don't know. That's a song. I don't know what it is. But anyway, it's a very nice. It feels great. So now I have another Sumo. Okay, this may go in one of my deals here on my desk. Okay, and this is pastels. As you know, I bought some pastels recently. This is to go with them, to mix with them. Hello, Angela. And it is the grays. So there's a black, a light, like a warm gray, a cool gray, and then a white. This is to go with them. These were $2.79, marked down to $2.79. That's why I picked that one up. And this is the Pentel. These are the new metallic. And so there's a silver and a gold. So we're going to have to try those out. So I do not think that I have the Pentel ones. I have Uniball. And I'm really enjoying these Signos. I use that on the cards too, to put little metallic touches. Uniball. No, see, I don't have that one. I didn't think I did. But this is the new one. I've been on this metallic mission, you know. Nope. That's the Broussard. Nope. I do not see it anywhere. I have the Sparkle Pop, but they're not the same as the metallic. Cool. I'm glad I got it then. These will go in here. Where is my book? Good night, Tina. Okay. See, there's the Broussard Jelly Roll, Mr. Pen, Papermate by Ink Joys. That I do not see. That's a Jelly Roll. Stetler, Pin and Gear, Uniball, Pin Touch. Have not tried the Pentel yet. And they're called Color Burst Metallic. And what I do when I do a card, I just made some cards too. Where did I put the ones that I made? Be damned if I know where those are. Okay, we got to write that on here. This is Pentel. Sunburst. And this is a gel ink. Silver and gold. And the other thing is, not all the golds are the same. Oh. Nice. Straight out of the pen. There was no thing on the end of it, and it came out easy. That's nice. Feels really good. That feels like a gel pen. Perfect gel pen feel. Here's the silver. I'm analytical about my pens, y'all. Angela is knitting. Or she's saying hi. She's saying hi to you, Cindy. That's what it was. I thought she was saying she was knitting. Okay, there they are right there. Man, is not picking up the metallic, is it? They're not real super metallic-y. They're kind of like these Uniball, actually. If I were to compare them to something, I'd say they're very close to that Uniball. But they feel really nice. They would be a nice writing pen. Not necessarily would use them as accents. More like a writing pen. Okay. Analytical. Like everything. She says, I'm that way that like everything. Okay. I got a new punch. I don't think I got anything off on this one. This was $8.99, but this one is a 2-inch circle. I did not have anything in that size. I have some smaller ones, and I was trying to find a bigger one to put on a card, and I needed it. So now I have one of those. I think this was 40% off, and it was $2.99. So it is, and they had more of these pearls, but they were more of a cream color, and I wanted the white as accents on cards. I got a book, Easy Crochet Critters. Has anybody tried anything out of this book? This was $4.99, so that was nice. So there's 10 things in here. Giraffe, lion, penguin. What is that one? Somebody tell me what this one is. I'm not sure. Monkey, walrus, seal. elephant, hippo, alligator. But what is this one? Is that a snow owl? Is that one of the snow owls? Is that what that one is? So these looked really easy, and they use Vanna Choice yarn. So that's a 4-weight. And not all of them use 4 weights for anything. But the instructions look super easy. It's not a no-sew. What do they call this one? Snowy owl. It is a snow owl. Yay! But for less than $5, I mean, come on. So that was good. All right, these were, Paper Studio was 40% off. And I got this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one is called Rose Faith Meadow. Butterflies. Oh, it's just so pretty. So pretty. And these are perfect to just, like, I could take one of these and cut it. I can either cut it in fourths, or I can cut it in half, or I can cut it and use the pieces somewhere else. Real pretty colors. Any time of the year on this one, really. It's springy, but to me, when you're making a card, this would work any time of the year for brightening somebody's day. This one is Poppies and Peonies. We get smart and do it this way. Nope, cut it. Maybe that wasn't smart. Oh, look at that. Oh, come on. I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Okay. Peonies and Poppies, 20 designs. You get 3 of each of them. This one is Pastelli. Look at that. See, there's a bunch of stuff in here that would work great for journals too. There's that one. Okay, this one is called Textile Floral. I guess, is that supposed to look, oh yeah, see, it's supposed to look a little bit more like a wallpaper. I can see that. That's cool too. Okay, then there's this one. This one can go right on a card. You don't have to cut it at all because it is a size that is very usable straight out of the pad. And I just love these colors. This one has a wallpaper feel to it. It's got a texture. Ah, that's nice. Okay, so I got those. Okay. I got a coloring book for July. And I got a couple more. I got 2 more of the Americana. I have one. That's all I had left. After we did my subscriber blanket, I used everything I had. And I have one left, and I think it's a partial. And I'm wanting to do something that looks like a flag again. And so I got 2 more. This one is called Old Glory. What are these up to? These are up to $4.99. Y'all, I was going to tell you, you know that yarn, the hand-dyed yarn from Hobby Lobby? You remember when it first came out? Well, for a while anyway, they were $14.99. Do y'all remember that? They are now $22.99 for their hand-dyed yarn. That's almost as much as Crystal is charging for hers. As a matter of fact, I picked up a couple of hers today for less than that. These had 252, don't they? Yeah, 252 on the variegateds. Super soft, very nice. So 2 of those. And I got, oh, let me show you the coloring book real quick. It was $5.99. A whole bunch of their coloring books were marked down, but you don't get anything off when it's this color of a sticker. But I thought this one would be fun to sit and color during 4th of July. Look at the bicycle. I told Mr. Fiber he was cleaning up back there after he moved all those bricks. I told him just to get rid of my bicycle because my bicycle is toast. There's no way it's going to be ridden out here on the dirt. Those are just very sweet pictures. Very sweet. That one looks almost like a cross stitch. It is. It's a cross stitch one. The designer of this one, this was originally $9.99. And the designer is Jessica Mazurkowitz. You might be able to find this on Amazon, but it's not going to be $5.99. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this color, and this is soft and sleek low pill fiber, 232 yards, purple. I got them in all. I tried to get them in all the same dye lot. They are not, but I think they're close enough. There's a very slight, this one's just slightly lighter. But I got those to go with this sugar wheel, grape jamboree, and I figure they matched close enough. I think they're going to work just fine. They're not the same. They had nothing that was the same. Nothing. There was no variegated in this that was the same, and this was just the closest and looked the best as far as I could tell. And I got 3 of these. So the idea is I spoke to a lady when I went to get my driver's license. In that building, there is an office for the NOAA project. So I stopped and I said, you know what? Let me go in there and talk to them. So I got her card, and then I got the pamphlet that goes with it. And you know how I was making things and sending them to Warm Up America, and then Warm Up America was sending them out to whoever needed them. And my camera is doing that because I have my fan on. Let me turn that. It makes it do that wavy motion, guys. I'm sorry. No, it's doing it because of the air conditioner. That's a little better, right? Actually, I'm just going to turn it off now and talk to you. But I found this book at Hobby Lobby for $10.95. I have a bunch of baby blanket ones. I have a bunch of them. But something about this one struck my fancy this time around. And so I had to have it. These look mindless to me. I've been doing the Bonnie Barker ones, but this just feels very mindless. I'm looking to see what I did with those cards that I made too. I wish I could find those to show you guys. Sorry, I looked in one more spot, but I don't see it. I'll find them. When I do, I'll show them to you. So I haven't sent them out yet. Oh, I do know where I put them. I'll show them. Okay. Anyway, these I think will make great ones for the NOAA project. Now, she told me to call this number for Abilene, for the Abilene, because she is a satellite, so she doesn't take any items over here close to me. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I'll plug it back in. If you're not noticing it, I'm just seeing this very little subtle wave when I turn the fan on. But I'm fixing to change it. So she told me to call them, and they take items there, but she wants me to find out what they need. So that's my plan, is to do that. But they do outreach for domestic violence, human trafficking, and they have a hotline, and they have all of these different services. And so I need to call and find out, because we're talking about pre-K all the way through college, and then, who knows? And it's through the United Way. And these are all of the counties that they serve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 counties that they serve. So I need to find out. I haven't done that yet because we've been a little busy around here with some other crap. But I would much rather do local than have to send it to Dallas, where I can go into Abilene. I can just take the stuff with me and drop it off. That's where I was headed with that. But this one, they're calling these 24-hour, and I see that these two ladies, Jean Linehauser and Rita Weiss, that this is a leisure arts, and y'all know I love my leisure arts. Love leisure arts. And these ladies are legends in the leisure arts world and the crochet and knitting world, both. So this one came out in 2010. Here's one. It's called Mary Sunshine. And it's that one. Super mindless, right? This one is the Santa hooded baby hooded blanket. They even put a pom-pom on there. That looks mindless also. Let's see if there's another shot of that. Here it is right here. It's like a star and then a hood. And then this one has actually got a cable. Special Day Cable Afghan. This one has baby hearts, and I think I have this in a different book, but I like they did 4 and then you put them together to make a bigger one, and then you make several of those. Good night, Patricia. It was so absolutely great to see you. You take care, my friend. I'm so glad you came by. Thank you so much. Isn't this one precious? And this one you could break up and do, and this is a corner to corner. That's a corner to corner, but you could break this up and do them, and then once you get enough, you're good to go. This one was actually cute. It's got kittens on it. And this one was designed by Michelle Max, and she was a designer for Coates and Clark back in the day. Isn't that cute? And you make these separately, and then you could put those on anything. This one is called Sweetness. This is a Tammy Hildebrand. Another legend in these books. Tammy Hildebrand has a very sweet little border on it too. This one they did in 4-weight yarn, but it looks like a self-striping. And it's just a 2-row repeat. So see what I mean by mindless? Here's one called Popcorn Hexagon. Kind of like what I'm doing on the poncho. You do 1 row and then popcorn, 1 row and then popcorn. And then butterfly wings. That looks interesting. All in one color. So I want to pick one of these to do with that yarn that I just showed you in the purples. Yes, gosh, I love the leisure art stuff. And I want to do this one. This one, no, they did 4 different colors on this one. This is called Pretty Pastels. They did Red Heart Eco Way. Yeah, that's not around anymore. But you could just do Red Heart, 4-weight Red Heart. This one is Stroller Stripe. This little stroller blanket. That's got a fun little texture in it. That's something I could do with that purple and make it bigger. This is a mile a minute, baby blues. Got that interlocking. I have one of those that Miguel made me one of those, y'all, and I have it over there. Oh my goodness, it is just the coolest thing. And I'm like, I have no idea how to do that. This one is Blissful Baby. And I thought something like this where I do the purple and then put the variegated in between this and then do the purple and then you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Popcorn stripes. I could even do that one. That's got a nice tip. Oh, look at this. By the sea. Got little fish and waves. This is the one from the cover. This one is called Reversible Shell. And I could do the sweet roll and then the purple where the white is. I don't know if it would show up well enough though. It might not. And then look how the back looks. I know I have two books. Mama Winch sent me one, and then I had another one that I found somewhere. This one is called Spring Song. Is that it? That's it. But they just look like simple things. Which one would you do with that yarn I bought? I'm kind of thinking maybe that one, and just instead of doing it in 4 colors, that's the one I was looking at. Instead of doing 4 colors, just do 2. You think I should add white to it? These colors. Pattern isn't going to show up, is it? I am not a big fan of now. I don't have to use all of this yarn. I bought plenty to use it, but I could use it with the white though. Oh, what? The typos, you having trouble? Okay, what? The one with the white and the hearts. This one? Do you think it'll show up? Like if I did this, do you think this would show up? This is more than my skill level at the moment. I'm not saying I can't do it, but my dyslexia, I have issues. Where's it at? You use one color and then you have to drop the other color. This one is a foundation row, single crochet clusters, and changing color, and you pick up one, make your loop, and then drop that and pick up another color. So use these colors, but use white with them. Yeah, they would be pretty with the white. I do a dark and then this, and then a dark and then this, and then the white. I could do that. I got plenty of white. Actually, I have a linen also. Hang on. I have this cream that would look really pretty with it, and I've been wanting to use this. This is that Second Chance yarn. This is really similar in structure to that, and I have 3 of them. That would work. Are you going to challenge me, Scrimshaw? You are going to challenge my butt, because this is a challenge. This one is the one in here that is not mindless. Okay, I'm going to put those all together in that bag. And then I'm probably just going to put this book in there with it. But I have to figure out how to do that. It is written very well, though. Pick up dropped loop of color A at opposite end of row. 2 parallel rows of shells with wrong sides facing each other. Chain 2. Single crochet in top of turning chain of color B. Once I did it, I would get the hang of it. There's only 4, there's 4 rows for the repeat. And then you do something different when you do the last row, so that you can do this border with these shells here, because they go the other direction. Very sweet though. This one's a pretty good size. This one is 40 by 58, because you chain 110. What about this one, and still use the cream? That is exactly like I'm doing, except in a star. I think it would be pretty, wouldn't it, with that one, with those colors. And that one too. That red and white is really nice. But I could do that one with the hood. What if I did? I might do that. Because then I wouldn't have to do the popcorn ones. The hooded one. Do this hooded one and do the cream. And do every other row. I may do that too. Having device issues. Okay, I'm leaving. I am leaving, y'all. I have missed you guys. That is what I can say about that. Okay, we got our Hobby Lobby done. And I will put that stuff away. This one didn't have the Creative Grandma. No, Glenda. Is it Glenda Hinkman? Is that the right? Yeah, no, none of hers in there. Oops. I'm trying to get rid of that. There we go. No Glenda Hinkman. Not in that one. But she's in a lot of the Leisure Arts. Okay. I'm going to go get a snack and sit down and work some more on the poncho. I finished the triangular shawl and I finished the cardigan, and now I'm trying to finish the poncho. Winkleman. Well, I was close. I was close. It is, especially if it's somebody you know. It's like Pam from Pamela's Adoring Crochet. She had a pattern in Crochet World, I think. Hugs, Laura. Hugs to you. Hope you have a great weekend. And then I have Mary Maxim. That's part of my birthday. So we're gonna do that coming up. I have 2 bags of Mary Maxim. And I have more stuff over on my table over there that we'll be doing. I just gotta have time to do the videos. And electricity. And not have reactions to medicine. And skunks and vets and just all the things. I love y'all. Good night to you. Thank you for sticking with me all this time. Oh, you went thrifting? Oh, you're going to go thrifting tomorrow, and then you are doing a podcast Sunday. Good, because I sure have missed you, my friend. Sure have missed you. Thank you for being here, Lorraine, and all of your help. You and Tank and everybody that helps me. Sweet dreams to you, Angela. It was really good to see you. And LJ, and Cindy, and Scrimshaw. And I will be talking more about all of this as it goes along. I will. Okay, 4 p.m. tomorrow. Sometimes it's 4 and sometimes it's 7:30. So 4 p.m. Central. That is 3 p.m. Mountain. 5 p.m. Eastern. 10 p.m. British. Sunday. On Sunday. 4 p.m. Central on Sunday. Yay! I can't wait to see what you find tomorrow. I hope you find some goodies. Oh, they will. We'll be okay. We will be okay. And I'll get to go spend some time with Dad because I haven't really seen Dad much. I have gone over there on my trips in and out of town and stuff. I have gone to Dad's, and he's doing fine. But tomorrow is Walmart, and 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay. 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. We still haven't got, I still have to get a hold of the chief, our police chief. I had gone to see him, but I still got to go back and see him again and find out what has happened because they're still putting their trash in our trash can. It's still a thing. Good night, Marbell. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Good night, Mary Ellen. Love you, John Boy. Have a great night and have fun today. Bye, everybody.